Tear down.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And up next is one of the best nicknames in football, Sauce Gardner.
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and CD, you look at Washington coming into play here. You figure they've got to be looking forward to this one. They've got a clear... The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the second-year man from The Ohio State University, Justin Fields. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. The numbers for Walker from last week's effort: 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 2 receiving.
So deuce is wild, huh?
Absolutely.
Probably should have gotten 2 checks for this game, right? 1 for the running backs, 1 for the wide receivers. Could carry home a nice little pile of cash.
This pass hauled in by Dotson. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive. It's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
On first down, Fields. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into it because they were there to help break that pass up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Fields throwing to the hands of Pickens. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I think this is what we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So opening drive, 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's Fields. Going right back to Dotson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. A tackle by Cole Holcomb. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. One play action, Fields. And this is incomplete.
Open look
this opening drive. 3rd and goal. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 17-yard line. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Running left is Walker. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Colin Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. So here are the Commanders making their way out. They'll be brought out by a player who was undrafted back in 2015 out of Old Dominion. Last season, his first as a starter. It's Taylor Heineke. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Isaiah Simmons, boy, he can move all over the field. And he gets a tackle for loss there. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a dump off here complete. Finding space at the 40. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run. On 1st and 10, Heineke. Back to Gibson and another catch for it. On the move past the 40. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, 54 yards. And the Commanders are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Joey Sly on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it concluded with the touchdown pass to Antonio Gibson. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
Straight ahead, Walker. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try to keep the defense honest.
You may also just sit back and dare you to throw it every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Fields on 3rd down. Ezekama, he's got it on the slant. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. He comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with our last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Fields now to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Steps away. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Out of the gun, Walker with it to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a throw here, hold in. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now it's Fields. This one goes underneath to Walker. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Probably a gain of 5 there on the run, but they were maybe a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Walker will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Week 9 here in the National Football League. We'll have 9 weeks to go after this. We've got a couple of good matchups in prime time to wrap up the first half of the season. Tonight, Tennessee and KC in the AFC. And then tomorrow night, an interconference matchup. Baltimore and New Orleans from the Superdome. Yeah, boy, and it's tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down. On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down. They go play action. Now Heineke. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On first down, right back to Gibson. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Heineke to throw it. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. After the sack on first down, Fields on the move to his left. And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Out to his left. Hawkinson crossing the middle and bringing it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's good for 28 yards. Of note, that last throw right there, putting him over 3,000 yards passing now for the year.
And when you start running the numbers in your head and realize that we're not halfway done with the season yet, you think to yourself, could this be a 6,000-yard season? That's definitely on the table.
Throwing again is Fields. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Fields. He finds Pickens over the middle. Touchdown, Vikings! George Pickens, 23 yards for the touchdown, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. On play action, Heineke completes it to Fant on the right side. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes
pressure. Gets there on Heineke, and down he goes. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Heineke eluding the pressure right. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him the first down.
Oh, they had a good chance to get off the field defensively there. If they could just wrap up, it's going to be a fourth down. But instead, they can't get him on the deck, and he allows them to pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. To the air again, Fields. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. On 2nd and 9, Fields. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. More than one defender here, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. The Vikings on 3rd down. How about this stat? A perfect 9 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Rolling to his left. And that is incomplete.
And I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Steps away. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Commanders come through with a fourth down stand. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they are back down to 500 following the low. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Hand off here to Walker. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields on the move to his left. Throw left side taken in by Washington. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
This is caught. Touchdown. T.J. Hockenson from 13 yards out as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Commanders' offense set to take over. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week.
And he loses the football a second time, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Touchdown, Vikings! Eric Ezukama, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Washington's offense ready to go again. There's Antonio Gibson. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Heineke now. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. To throw again on second down. Heineke. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing. Heineke. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. A first down throw for Heineke. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Odell Beckham with career touchdown number 60. And the Commanders get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead now down to 20. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Fields. Out to his left. He's got this to Pickens. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Fields on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
22 yards there, a first down. Back to throw, Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Heineke's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Heineke on first down. This is the tight end fan. Touchdown, Washington. Noah Fant, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Commanders are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. They'll look to throw. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost getting...
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings! Kenneth Walker, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 10, Heineke. Middle of the field, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in by Hockenson here. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Still 9 remaining on second down. Sticking with Walker on second down. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Throwing on third down, Fields. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Jahan Dotson from 8 yards out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point forthcoming. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Jahan Dotson with a touchdown catch to finish things off. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Washington offense back out there. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. I guess we're at the point of the game where they do need to open up the playbook a little bit, start to take some chances down the field, but that one did not go as planned.
Yeah, these guys need something good to go their way, and they took an opportunity to take that shot there, but obviously that's not going to help. A tough play for them as they're trying to make their way back.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Sticking with Walker on second down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They run again with Walker. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 130 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. Pass complete as Akama with it. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even...
And oh, he coughed it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, Heineke. And this is going to be caught along the sideline. Nicely done, but right at the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a fourth down. Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. That's taken it around the 40. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And this offense, they're going to have an excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, it's Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. On second down, it's Walker. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Able to connect with Dotson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 22.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. He's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield. And there's another.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Ken Walker, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Vikings get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Now comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That time a 6-play drive. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from the rookie, Kenneth Walker. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Heineke's throw in the hands of Fan. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. To throw again on second down. Heineke. Flush to his right. And the ball is knocked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
A gain of 14. First down, Vikings.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. To throw is Fields. Finding Hockenson here on the out route. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Now it's Fields. Touchdown, Vikings. Eric Ezukama with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. The extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Washington offense heading out. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us?
And he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the give, it's Walker. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. Option play, and they'll give to Walker. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 155 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kenneth Walker, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings continue to pour it on here in the fourth. extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
From the gun, Heineke.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
It's Ross Blacklock who earns the sack.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
From the shotgun, it's Heineke.
He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Heineke.
And this is going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not so hard to know where the distance is going. And the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and they will remain well behind.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
On 1st down, Fields.
Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Shaq Lawson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Teron Johnson able to pick it.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Open here, Adam Thielen.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Heineke, they'll set up the screen for Gibson.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Heineke now. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Now Heineke.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Flashes another juke, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And they'll try to throw now. Heineke.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point by Sly is up and good
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3, 4th down. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
And some room to maneuver. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. That one looks like he'll throw here.
He'll get this one to Ezekama. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders will take over here just shy of the 30. On 1st and 10, Heineke. And he's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Heineke on 1st down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking.